Hey everybody, welcome back to the festival circuit. My name is Adam and I am again joined by Reuben.
You alright, guys?
And today we are just going to be chatting about, basically we're recording this on Freedom Day, and we're just going to be chatting about things coming up, what we've got planned, and basically just talking about the restrictions being lifted, our thoughts on it, and just the return of festivals that we haven't seen for 18 months.
I'll tell you what, Adam, I am absolutely buzzing. It's the 19th
ridiculous,
of July
isn't it?
today. 19th of July, it's Freedom Day. Things are open. You can go down to Tesco and you don't have to wear a mask. You can go to nightclubs tonight. I mean, people went last night as well. And gigs. I reckon we start with that one because we've got a little something planned on Wednesday.
We sure do. So depending on when this will go up, but I don't know if this is going to go up. I mean, to be honest, I haven't decided yet. But if it goes up on our normal day of Friday, then the vlog might already be up, or the vlog will be after this. But basically, on Wednesday, we are going to see Royal Blood, aren't we?
We are. We're going to Bristol, and we're watching Royal Blood's first gig in 18 months. Well, besides the one they did for Glastonbury on Brighton Pier. But apart from that, in front of fans, this is the first one they've done in months, almost 2 years.
Sure is. Yeah, as part of their sort of intimate tour, they announced 4 dates across July and August, and it was quite a spontaneous thing. We only booked it about 2 weeks ago, but here we are, and obviously it's both our first gigs, and I'm buzzing for it, to be honest with you. And I've never seen Royal Blood before. Okay,
right. So Royal Blood announced these 4 dates. 2 in early July, so this is happening on Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know when you guys will be listening to this, but the 21st, 22nd. One in Bristol, one in Newcastle, and they're both about 2,000 capacity. And then they've got 2 later on in August, like the end of August, Norwich and Hastings, 27th and 28th of July. So that kind of explained to us that they're not going to be at Reading, unfortunately. Because there was a split second on NME that we thought that maybe they let the cat out of the bag, that they were going to be at Reading, but looks at this, it's not going to be happening, unfortunately. But we've got some more exciting news. We got some more exciting news later about who we think could potentially be having a secret set.
Yeah, definitely.
Go on.
I was just going to say, like, if people missed that, basically, we found this article on NME. Actually, someone pointed it out to me, and it said on it that Royal Blood were following, like, basically when they announced this intimate shows, they were like, this is in preparation for their gigs, and it said Tramlines, Victorious was it, and Reading and Leeds, and everyone was like, well, we especially were, we were like, they're not announced for Reading and Leeds. So we thought that was them doing the secret set. But yeah, as you say, these gigs probably rule that out, which is unfortunate, but all we're saying is probably next year they're going to be headlining it, so the fact we get to see them in a 2,000 capacity gig is going to be mental.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the fact that they're doing in March, April next year, they've got their arena tour, which is, you know, I'm going to see them at the BIC, which is like 6,000 capacity. They're doing the O2, which is what, 20,000. So and the tickets for that are pretty much all sold out.
Blimey, yeah.
So I mean, the fact that we get to see them at a 2,000 capacity, I mean, I woke up really, really early to
yeah, you did well
for pre-sale to manage to get tickets. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the first gig in 18 months.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So obviously, they're doing, to get into that gig, you need to show a negative lateral flow or immunity or PCR or have your double jab. So, you know, we could go on to talk about that and talk about just sort of I'd quite like to get your opinion on sort of the opening of everything else and nightclubs and not having to do that for a nightclub. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because a lot of nightclubs obviously want to get open and get money, because a lot of them almost went under, and a lot of them did go under during lockdown because obviously they just weren't making money. So these nightclubs now are just trying to get people through the dours. and get people out, which is fair enough to them. But these gigs, I think the venues for the gigs have got a lot more responsibility, I think, and they're all and for the festivals it's the same. It's you've got to have your 2 jabs for at least 2 weeks. Your second jab was at least 2 weeks before. You've got to have a negative lateral flow that you've uploaded onto the government website, and you've got your vaccine passport on the NHS app, or you've had COVID in the past, I think it's 180 days. And then if you can prove that, and then you're naturally immune, then you can get yourself to these gigs. And I think the transmission at the gigs are going to be a lot less
I agree.
compared to the ones to nightclubs, because obviously there's less restrictions for nightclubs.
Yeah, I was saying to just friends and stuff that the idea of going to a gig and a festival, you almost feel a lot safer doing that than you do nightclubbing. And nightclubbing is a thing that's going to be happening every night, and that's already happened. And yeah, it's just crazy to think that it's all returning, and I just hope it stays around for as long as possible.
Yeah, I'm hoping that cases don't rise dramatically, that they backtrack, because obviously we want Reading and Leeds. I've got Broadies that I'm going to. I've got All Points East that I'm also going to the day after Reading. So I want all of these to happen, and not be, not have a few weeks where people can go out and then cases just rise too much and then everything's get shut down again.
When's Broadies?
It is the 2nd week of August.
Blimey, so you're going to that before Reading and Leeds? That's mad.
So I've got that. So I've got a week in August, and then that is that week, and then I've got a week after, and then Reading, and then the Monday after Reading, All Points East in London.
Mad.
So it's good. August is a busy time for me.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. But no, I am happy to see it. I mean, obviously, it is worrying. Not all of it. Like, I think festivals are probably one of the more safe. To be fair, festivals has the most people, and the fact that most of it's outdoors is probably going to be the safest place.
Yeah, and the fact that we've had the Download Pilot Festival as well.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Liverpool one with Blossoms headlining that. The COVID cases didn't dramatically increase from that, which is a really, really good sign. I think the research that they did showed that going to Tesco or whatever is just the same likelihood of catching COVID than going through all the precautions and going to a organised gig.
That's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really crazy. Right, so this weekend, I assume when this is going up for you guys, is Tramlines and Latitude Festival. So we've got the first 2 full capacity festivals that are going ahead, and I've been following Tramlines especially on social media and seeing them put the stage up and get the arena all ready, and I'm really bloody excited. I'm not even going.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? I think a lot of people, because Latitude was announced as a pilot event, and because it was going to be the first festival straight after July 19th, I think it was just in case July 19th didn't go ahead, and they got the basically confirmed go ahead by the government. But yeah, it's very exciting that they're going ahead, and I think a lot of people snapped up tickets because Latitude was still available, and as soon as they were announced it was going to be a pilot event, I think a lot of people bought tickets, and that was probably when they got to the point where I assume they're close to selling out, if not sold out already.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. The lineup for me isn't amazing. I mean,
No.
I've got the lineup in front of me, and I don't know whether this has just been announced, but Damon Albarn from Gorillaz and from Blur has been announced as a special guest on this Saturday.
Oh, blimey.
So that'll be quite good. He did a little set for the Glastonbury when they did the Glastonbury performances. He did a solo set for that. And then obviously we've got Wolf Alice, Chemical Brothers, Bastille, Reorchestrated, and Bombay Bicycle Club.
I mean, it's a solid festival, isn't it? I mean,
So
I looked at it. I didn't jump out my skin and be like, oh, I need to get some tickets. But for the people who are going, they're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's a decent festival. Obviously, if that's a local festival to you, you're gonna go down there and you're gonna want to just like you got Rudimental, Supergrass, and you've also got Kaiser Chiefs, Alfie Templeman, Bieber Doobie. Like you've got all of these up and coming acts, Seagirls, Koala, Lynx. And then you've also with the headliners and that, you've got old school acts. it's a real mixed bag of a festival.
Reminds me of sort of Isle of Wight vibes, Isle of Wight festival names.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't go, but because it is quite far from where I am. But
yeah,
you know,
too.
if it's close to you, then 100% get yourself down. I mean, I prefer tram lines that is happening the same weekend. I think the tram lines lineup, they've had an absolute blinder with that. The Streets, Raw Blood and Supergrass as the headliners.
Yeah,
Kooks, Blossoms, Dizzy Rascal sub-headliners. Like, they've done a really, really good job with that.
Supergrass headliner. I thought it was Richard Ashcroft.
Yeah, no, it was Richard Ashcroft, and they've removed him from it.
Ah.
Yeah, so they've gone Supergrass now, which is, I think, it's a decent replacement. It was a last minute because I think it was only a couple of weeks ago that happened. So Supergrass as a last minute replacement isn't that bad.
I wonder why.
I think it was because of Richard Ashcroft's views on COVID, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, wasn't it that because you needed to be jabbed or tested or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's something to do with that, yeah.
Wonder if it would pose the same thing too, because he's at Victorious as well this year, because it's quite a similar headliners to Victorious, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder whether close to the time they're going to...
I wonder if he'll be the same
replace
there.
him as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like looking down the lineup, you've got Circa Waves, Pigeon Detectives, the Lathams, Raytons, Frotillas, and then on the second stage, Jake Bug, Mahalia, Everything, Little Sims, Sundara Karma. My God, that lineup is absolutely booming.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. When I was first looking at sort of just other, I thought I'd want to go to another festival this year, but that was definitely one of the ones on my list. But tickets went very fast, and it's unsurprising why.
Yeah, it's obviously a smaller festival. I think it's in Sheffield, and yes, obviously I'm sure people will. They've sold out. People are going to be going. People are going to be really happy that this is one of the first festivals to happen. Well, will be the first festival to happen, full capacity in 18 months or however long it is, so the people who are going to have a blinder at this one.
But it's mad, really, because Reading's within we've only just been really, I know we found out kind of a couple of weeks ago, but we've really only just found out that festivals are on, right? The fact that the day went ahead was the day we knew they were going ahead, so we've been dropped. It's like getting a Reading announcement a month before the festival's about to happen. Like, we're only a month away from Reading, and it doesn't even feel like we've had the long wait and the long build up because everyone's been so unsure whether they're going to be going ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And we've still probably got one more announcement for Reading to come up.
Definitely. Yeah.
So we got some more names for the Reading, and it has technically the Reading Council have only just given the license to Festival Republic for it to happen. So it has literally in the past few days been given the full go ahead. But obviously, people are here. People have subscribed to you guys, to you on the TheRandLMill because of Reading and Leeds.
Yeah.
So the fact that it is officially going ahead is absolutely
that's massive news.
class
Yeah.
news.
It's all the sort of Instagram posts I did about it basically going ahead. They're by far the most liked one. I think it's just the sheer anticipation by everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And the anticipation is only going to build and build until the day of the festival.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'd be interesting to see who is on that next lineup announcement. I wonder whether I don't want it to, obviously, but I wonder whether how many names will change because of international acts and the complications of basically doing the festival.
That's not a bad shout. I mean, you know, they've got time. If Queens and Post Malone can't make it, you know, they've got time to, and I'm sure they've probably already got acts in the pipeline to replace them. I hope it doesn't happen because the lineup for me is perfect as it is, with a few additions still there to be added.
Yeah.
But
if Logan Paul can come to the KSI show and go to and do all stuff with them, then I think I think we'll be within
fine.
a day of travelling. I think that'll be fine.
So now we're going to be moving on to one of the most exciting and anticipated parts of the whole Reading and Leeds weekend. Is the secret sets. I don't know about you, Adam, but I love myself a secret set.
They've sort of become notorious at Reading, haven't they? There's always a couple every year. They've had some massive names be sort of even just guest performers. Even I'm thinking of one of the biggest ones, which is probably one of the biggest artists in the world, Drake. He just came out.
Yeah,
randomly.
guest performance.
Yeah,
You've had like the last Shadow Puppets.
Yeah,
that was a really good one. Bring Me.
Yeah, Bring Me, when they were sort of getting to the point where people were asking where they were going to headline, they just came out and tent. So yeah,
exactly.
They're getting they're definitely going to be. I mean, everyone's going to want to perform this year too. That's the good thing. So we could have so much variety of who it could be. And do you want to start off with the first one?
The one that we have got for the first one, and the thing we both think is probably most likely, we'll tell you why, is Frank Carr and the Rattlesnakes. So they are one of my favourite bands, and they've just released a tour for 2021 going into 2022. And Reading and Leeds made a tweet and an Instagram post of "Get me back in the pits," and it's a picture of Frank Carter. Someone commented "secret set?" ? And the Rattlesnakes Instagram put the little eyes emoji. So they're teasing whether they're going to do it or not, or whether they're just trying to rile up fans like us. I don't know, but I would love to see a Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes secret set.
Yeah, there was a lot to hint at that set, that sort of interest. And that afternoon, it kind of just happened. We had the eyes. We had Frank Carter saying, "Get me back to Reading and Leeds." We had Frank Carter liking a comment on one of our posts. Didn't like the post though, did he? But no, it was. Yeah, all of a sudden it escalated quite quickly. It's always a name to shout about because he's done it before, or they've done it before.
Yeah, 2018 on the Festival Republic stage.
Yeah, so yeah, look out for that one.
That is they've just released their latest single, Sticky. They've released that the album called Sticky is going to be out in October. So there's a lot of hype around Frank Carter at the minute. They're constantly being played on Radio 1 with My Town and Sticky on there. So, there is every reason that we could see Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes at Reading.
Yeah,
and Leeds.
Absolutely. I think compared to the rest, I think the rest are more logical guesses as opposed to almost not nailed on, but you know what I mean. This one isn't an educated guess. It's actually almost likely to happen. Whereas our other ones,
this one's got a bit of meat on the bones as to why we're saying it. But the other ones that we're going to come up with, we've come up with a list of a few more that could potentially still be at Reading and Leeds, and these ones are kind of a bit more educated guesses.
Yeah, definitely. So going on to the next one is, we've already mentioned them. They're a big name. They're always dubbed to play at the festival. They're always dubbed to headline. Still haven't, but that's Bring Me the Horizon. I think this rumour just came about because of who they are, because they're always dubbed to play, and to be honest, there's not that much more, as you said earlier. There's not that much more meat to it.
It's just, I think the secret set, tends to go that they'll do a secret set, and the year after, I say they tend to come back and play quite a high slot, if not headline. Obviously, that's not happened with Frank Carter and Bring Me 2018. But I think it is a good indication if they're going to be there the following year, if they do come and do a secret set for Festival Republic. So, a Bring Me secret set, I wouldn't put it out of the realms of possibility, but then again, I wouldn't also be surprised if it didn't happen.
No, it's probably one of the more far-fetched ones. But as I say, I mean, Festival Republic like them, so who knows? Next one, which has a slight bit of meat to it, so to say. Well, there's a reason the rumours sparked, and that's Blossoms. The rumours sort of started around the time of sort of the Sefton Park gig, but it all kicked off, I would say, when Blossoms confirmed that they're not going to be there.
Yeah, it was a weird one, seeing that they confirmed that they're not going to be there, just because they were the headline for the Sefton Park the gig in Liverpool. That was the first gig, the first pilot event, and Festival Republic chose Blossoms to be there.
There are a lot of festivals this year as well.
They're doing a lot of festivals, yeah. There's loads of festivals they're getting about to, and oddly enough, Reading and Leeds isn't one of them. So whether they're saving them for a secret set, Because I mean they played they played on the main stage in 2019. They've been at the festival years gone by, so why they're not here on the first festival back in 2 years, I don't know.
Whether they're going to save them, maybe they think they're bigger than we think they are, and they're saving them for like next year to like almost, well, we're getting into sub-headline territory for them.
Well, I mean, if we keep the 2 stages, you know, we've got at the minute we've got acts like AJ Tracy, Sam Fender, Two Door, Wombats, Jerry Cinnamon, that are all
So
sub-headlining. So
there's
Blossoms,
no reason they couldn't.
Blossoms are in that sort of group of bands, especially give it another year. So I think that, you know, it's not out of the realms of possibility that they come and sub-headline next year.
Yeah, definitely.
And then leading on, the next one again isn't much. You know, the rumours aren't that strong, apart from the fact that they are hometown boys and they're Reading and Leeds favourites. Hometown for Reading, that is, and it's the Amazons.
And they said they're not playing, didn't they?
They have also said that they will not be playing this year. But, again, you know, you've got to say that in this industry it is, you know, never say never. Like, it's a thing that if Festival Republic come knocking on their doors and call up the boys tomorrow and say, do you want to come and play a secret set, I don't think they're going to say no to it. You know, they're recording their 3rd album at the minute, and that's, I think, going to be coming out the start of next year, so I'm really looking forward to that and a tour. They're also supporting Raw Blood on their arena tour in March, April. So hopefully, you know, that will coincide with when they release their 3rd album. I'm looking forward to seeing them then, if not, hopefully, this summer.
Yeah, it's just a strange one, isn't it? Because them and Blossoms both confirmed themselves out around the same time, but it's just such a weird move to do that before the lineup, because that was before the lineup was out. Well, before the extended lineup was out.
Yeah,
it's just a strange move, especially from those 2 bands. As you said earlier, they're popular at Reading and Leeds. They both have played at Reading and Leeds a lot. I don't know, it seemed a bit fishy. Yeah,
it is a bit strange, but I mean, it's not like neither of them aren't doing tours. Like the Amazons have got a gig in late July. I think they've got a gig. They're doing 110 Above. They're headlining 110 Above in mid-August. Say that same weekend, a few days before, they're doing Gospel Hall Farm. So like, it's not like they're not doing festivals, and they've got that Reading and Leeds weekend free. So you never know.
Yeah, that's definitely another one to keep your eye on. I'm gonna skip one on our list because I don't think there's any sort of meat to that at all. So I'm gonna go on to Kasabian. Kasabian are, I think, similar to the Bring Me act. I think it's people getting on a rumour because they think it's time for like a big artist, someone like Kasabian, to do a secret set. There's always that rumour of the big artist to do it. Maybe an artist has a headline for a while and could be there in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's a strange one because obviously last year there was the whole shenanigans that happened with Tom and the domestic abuse, which is obviously horrendous, and him getting axed from the band. And then a few months ago they released that they're going to be touring, and they're touring and they're playing smaller shows, obviously. I think they're playing Brixton and they're doing a few other dates. I think it's either late this year or early next year. And they're just going without Tom, and they're going to have Serge, who's obviously an absolute legend, is just going to head the band and lead it. Kasabian, I don't know how much truth there is to this, or whether there is actually, if this is going to happen. It's a nice idea, it's a nice thought to have Kasabian come and do a little secret set, but I'm not too sure. No, especially as you say with everything going on. But they are performing. That was out of the blue. They dropped that out of the blue. A lot of fans were shocked. So yeah, again, it's one to keep your eyes on, but probably the same level as Bring Me compared to some of the others we're going to talk about. And I'd say the next one we're going to chat about is another one that probably has quite a lot of chance as well. Yeah, and that's Idols. Idols absolutely killing it at the minute. They're doing really, really well. They're playing other festivals. Again, it's one of these ones that are on the circuit, but haven't been picked up by Festival Republic for Reading and Leeds, which is a strange one because I think were they going to be there 2020?
They were, yeah.
They were, and I was absolutely buzzing for that because I'm a massive fan of Idols and haven't seen them yet. So being able to see Idols would have been unreal, but it hasn't happened. Secret Set, I'm sure they could come and absolutely, because they were sub-headlining on the Radio 1 stage. I think it was going to be the same time as Cortinas or something. And my God, seeing Idols in the Radio 110 would have been absolutely unreal. That probably would have been one of the favourite gigs I've been to. Like, the energy that they have is
perfect.
Cart and the Rattlesnakes vibes.
Yeah, it is. It's perfect band for that sort of stage as well. And that's what it was. I think a lot of people, for us especially, when we were doing when we did a little series over on our pages, we did something called All But Confirmed. That was before the final line or the bigger lineup was out, and we were saying 8 artists, 10 artists that we thought were basically guaranteed to be there. Idols was one of them, and they just weren't there.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of perfect for Idols, because I don't think any of these secret sets are going to happen on the main stage. The main stage, for me, seems too busy at the minute.
It's
with
going
the
to be
amount of acts
chocker,
there
isn't
are.
it? Yeah.
It's going to be how they're going to work it, I don't know, but it's going to be absolutely chocker. But having it on one of the smaller stages, again, it's kind of the vibes of Frank Cart and the Rattlesnakes, 2018, where you put them on a small stage. You've got the pit / the lockup / Festival Republic, so you've got that one stage that's kind of changes over the weekend. That I think is definitely going to have a secret set. What day I don't know, but those tents, and then you might have one on the dance stage. But so it's going to be the tents that these secret sets happen, and being able to see a big act like Idols or like a Frank Carter or like an Amazons on a smaller stage like that is going to be class. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be on the main stage. I could be wrong, but that's just a guess from my end.
Well, one thing I would say about the main stage is the one thing I would say to look out for is the possibility of, we've got a lot of rap acts this year, and it's a possibility of a rapper bringing someone out. I think that's going to be for we've got Stormzy, we've got AJ Tracy, we've got H. They're all high up on that main stage. We've got Mo Stack. All of these acts, I think, could easily bring someone out. Look, those sort of artists collaborate with people all year round.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the one I'm most excited for that aspect is Stormzy.
Yeah,
Stormzy.
definitely.
We've seen him at Glastonbury. He brought out Dave and he brought out Fredo, and I am going to go out on a whim and say that he's definitely going to bring out Dave. He's just released a song with Dave for Dave's new album, and he's also got the song with Dave and with Fredo. Well, Dave and Fredo brought them out because it was Funky Friday. It was the first big rap song to go #1 in the UK. So whether he does a similar sort of thing, I don't know. But
the only thing I would say about that is him being a Parklife exclusive. Does he have to sign a contract to say he literally can't?
I think that he could come out and just do a song, because he's not going to be on the bill, is he? He's not, but he's going to have that weekend free, and he's going to. I can see him coming out with his mate Stormzy, especially that he's just released the song with him. But I think one that's going to be, for me, that I think is going to be nailed on, which I'm quite looking forward to, is Stormzy bringing out Ed Sheeran. I think Ed Sheeran has been doing the rounds recently. Obviously, I'm guessing he's releasing a new album. He's released the new single Bad Habits. So he's got back out onto the music circuit. And last time Stormzy headlined Glastonbury, he wanted to bring him out for Shape of You. But I think Ed was doing a tour in either Australia or New Zealand. So he couldn't. But if he's going to be free Reading and Leeds weekend, helping Stormzy, because Stormzy's going to put on an absolute blinding show. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the best headliner. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be the first headliner of that weekend. To close off that Friday night, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the best headliner of the whole weekend.
And I mean, with all due respect to Ed Sheeran, he's what he's achieved is incredible, and he's headlined Glastonbury. He's not going to be headlining Reading and Leeds anytime soon, but just because of solely on his music style.
His music,
but it's an act,
act.
but it's an act that would he'd probably love to be there. And Festival Republic, it's going to be an opportunity for them to get and act like Ed Sheeran, to get that scale. Think about everyone who's going to find then out about the festival and research into the festival and stuff like that. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think that's going to be near on nailed on. That Ed Sheeran will come out and do a song or two, because I mean it's not like they've just got the Shape of You remix. They've got Take Me Back to London, and they've also got, what's the other one on?
Own It.
Own It. There we go, on Heavies. So I don't know. It's a guess from me, but it's an
it
guess.
is. But you know what Ed Sheeran's like as well. I mean, when he released that collaborations album, he was getting bought out all over the place. I mean, I saw him. I was lucky enough to see him because I saw Khalid in London, and he bought him out at the O2, and then and then Travis Scott bought him out at the O2 too. So he's the sort of guy to be, I think, to easily accept an invitation like that.
Yeah, I think, I'd be surprised if we don't see him on that Stormzy that Friday headline slot.
Yeah, at least someone. It's gonna be a massive performance, and I think for a lot of people, it's probably one of the most anticipated. It is probably the most anticipated headliner from a point of view that they haven't had before, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, it's going to be an incredible weekend. It's coming up very soon, and obviously with it being Freedom Day today, it just gets us all a little bit more excited, doesn't it?
And that's exactly why we've hopped on here to talk about these things. It's coming up. It is here now. Freedom Day is today. Like, it's happening. It's crazy to think that since March last year, it's actually going to happen.
It is crazy, but I think that will sort of round up this episode.
I think it's been a good chat. I hope people have enjoyed listening to this as much as we've enjoyed talking about all these festival updates.
I think it's just going to start to grow. No matter what festival you're talking about, those music lovers like me and you are just going to be getting excited just to watch the sets on YouTube. That's what I'm excited for. To see to just see what people like. People haven't performed for 18 months. Like a proper in front of a proper. You don't know. Set lists are completely different. Like I see in Raw Blood on Wednesday, they've got a whole new album since they last performed. They haven't performed yet.
Completely different, yeah. I think that's why bands like Royal Blood, they're going to be doing headlines. So it's obviously that weekend that they're doing the. So they've got they're performing on the Wednesday and the Thursday or Friday, and then they've got the Saturday where they're headlining Tramlines. Like, they're obviously wanting to do these intimate shows to kind of get themselves prepped for a headline show in front of probably 20, 30, 40,000, however many at Tramline.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I am very looking forward to the next episode. Probably for the next episode, we'll do it. We were going to do 2 in a row, but I reckon if we do one next week, then we'll get to debrief sort of Latitude and stuff like that.
We'll debrief Latitude, Tramlines, and the
Sure. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be great fun, and then hopefully then we'll have an idea about how all these events are going, because obviously that's one thing we don't have now, the statistics. We're the test dummies, aren't we? We don't know how they're going to be, but it's been a pleasure.
Brilliant. Cheers, guys, for listening, and come back for the next episode